Hi guys, so I am back again and I thought it would be super cool to do something called a cyanotype, which is basically the oldest form of photography in the world, but there's like a few stages to it, so I'm just going to do like the first bit, which is preparing the paper for the cyanotype. Okay, cyanotypes. So I'll tell you what it is first, I guess. It is the oldest form of photography, like it predates film. It's basically this mix of these two chemicals that come in a powder form. You have to mix them up, let them settle overnight or whatever, and they're light sensitive. When they're mixed like single, they're fine. They have no expiry date, but you have to mix them together, and then the mixture of the two has an expiry date. I think it lasts for like, I don't know. I don't know how long it lasts for, but anyway, I will tell you what exactly it is. Cyanotype is a photographic printing process that produces a cyan blue print. Engineers used the process well into the 20th century as a simple low-cost process to produce copies of drawings referred to as blueprints. So one of them is Ferric Ammonium Citrate. I don't know which one it is. And then the other one is Potassium Ferricyanide. So yes, it does have trace cyanide in it. What we are going to do is I'm going to pour out a bit of each of these. So I've got them in duct taped bottles because obviously light sensitive. So we're just going to pour a bit out. It looks disgusting, but it's fine because it'll look beautiful one day. So yes, I've also got here an extra glass for them to be mixed in with each other, and then some water to clean out my little, it's just like a Calpol medicine syringe, like a child's medicine syringe that I can get it out with, and then a paintbrush. I've got also just a normal sketch pad, so it's like just slightly thicker paper, but you're meant to use like cartridge paper or watercolour paper. So I have some acid-free cartridge paper, but what I'm going to do is just start to, so with each of the chemicals it has to be equal parts to each other, it has to be the exact same amount of each other. That's why I've got a syringe so I can see how much I'm doing. So I'm going to do 5 ml of each. Oh, bollocks. In case you're interested, look at my leg. I don't even know how I've managed that. Okay, so I'm going to rip out a few of these pages. Yeah, let's just do that. Because here's the thing, I've already filmed this, but when I went to edit it, it was blurry. And the beauty of this is like you don't have to rip it neatly or kind of fold it evenly or whatever, because it just adds to the uniqueness of it. With cyanotypes, you're never ever going to get the same print twice. Ever. Which I think is super cool, so each one is like completely unique. Because it all depends on like how you've painted the solution onto the paper, and then how long you've exposed it for, and how you wash it. It's all very cool in my opinion. So I suppose this is when we just start painting shit on. I think it's this one. And then what I like to do is, because I like it really messy where you can see the brush strokes and everything in it, so just slap it on. Just should look like that. It doesn't have to look like that, you can paint the whole thing if you want. I'm not a teacher. But yeah, that's the colour it should be anyway. Obviously, as you can see like I've done it really messy. I don't know if you can see actually, I don't know how exposed this is. For a photographer, I know nothing about cameras, so you're going to have to excuse that. Everything's on auto. My lecturers would be pissed. So here I've missed out some little spots. I've done it kind of zigzaggy. It might make for a cool print. I don't know. I'm going to get this massive pad out. I think I might only do 2 of these. Like 2 sheets. As you can see, that's a lot thicker. One thing is about cyanotypes is that it's cool because you can literally do it at home. Like, you don't need a lot of money, and you don't need to go and find a dark room, and you don't need to like pay to develop prints or anything like that. You can literally just do it all in yourself, and you can do it with stencils or literally found objects, or you could make kind of like an acetate out of a picture that you really, really like. What I might do is I've got a file just full of them. So in a bit I might just kind of get that out, show you guys, so you actually know what we're creating. You don't have to do anything. Like, it can literally be a mess, but it's okay because it's artistic. You know that there are many, I don't know, companies that don't class photography as an art form, because they class it as operating equipment. I don't know what they'd class it as instead of art. It's not exactly machinery, is it? But that's operating equipment. Okay, so here are the ones that I did the other night. I've kept them in a drawer, but as you can see, they've been exposed to light on the bottom half, which I find hilarious. I think that when they actually get developed, they'll look quite cool because it'll be like a gradual, like a different tone. So that at least this is going to have like different tones of blue in it, I guess. Don't know. Basically, when you've finished painting them, you have to leave them to dry in a cool, dark place. Like, they cannot be touched by sunlight because that is now photosensitive. It's like darkroom paper or film paper. Like, you cannot expose it to light until you want to expose it to light. Makes sense? So they need to dry in a dark space, and I usually do just put them in a drawer, but I'm thinking now that possibly that isn't a very good idea. I don't know. We'll figure it out. It's fine. Everything's fine. So, welcome back from my tiny little break, guys. Like I said, I'm going to show you some cyanotypes. This is my folder of all my cyanotypes. I think I probably have quite a few different types in here, so like I've got my negatives in there as well that I've made. It's literally just like you buy acetate from your local, I guess, craft shop, stationery shop. You invert the image on Photoshop or whatever kind of editing tool you have. You have to make it really kind of harsh, so you have to turn the contrast and the curvature right up, so you can make such a harsh negative. This one is the Eiffel Tower. I don't know if I actually have a print of that, so let's find out. We've got the Arc de Triomphe there. So yeah, we've got a few different kind of prints there, or negatives there. I've got the London Eye as well. My Eiffel Tower one didn't turn out amazing, but this is what they end up looking like. See what I mean by you have to really make it quite harsh, otherwise it doesn't pick up the details as well. I used to just have like a collection of leaves, and it was purely for cyanotypes. So this one, I put the leaf on top of the paper, put it into my little easel, and exposed it for probably around 5 minutes to sunlight. And then that's that one. This I love with all my heart. It was a train station in Scotland. I just think it's so beautiful. So that's one. And then I'm pretty sure I have the same print here. So see how I mean? That no two will turn out the same ever. Like that's the same photograph. But I'm very shaky, I'm sorry. Oh, I've got this cute one. It's of me and my dad in Scotland again. So I think that's one that turned out really, really well. Also, I've got this one of an old castle, and I think it looks really cool with like abandoned and derelict things, or like ruins, because it really goes back to the time period that this would have been used. Do I just sound like a proper geek? I probably do. Okay, so this is the Eiffel Tower. Now keep in mind the one that I showed you earlier. This is the same negative. The difference is just, I did make some with stencils. So I used a piece of card, cut that out and then used that over the top. These were done this week. And these pieces of paper that I used are very, very old. So on this one you can see, obviously it's the discoloration there, and it's obviously been exposed multiple times. I still think it's quite cool. If it wasn't for the brown at the bottom, I think that would be really cool with those. It's just a shame really, isn't it? I'll let you get off. I'm probably going to make another video now of me making the easels. Obviously if you do decide to do this yourself and you don't have a clue how, you can just watch me and do it, I guess. And I'll link like the actual chemicals down below from a reputable source. Apart from that, we're done here. If you enjoyed this so far, then please join me in my next video. Like and subscribe if you would. That would mean the world to me. And I'll see you soon. Bye.